Rama Hare బాగున్నారా? చాలా థ్యాంక్ యూ ఫర్ కమింగ్. మిస్ అయ్యానంటే అది నా
अभिषेक कर ले अभी अभिषेक कर
బ్యాటరీ పోయిందా మొత్తం అది మార్చమని చెప్పాడు అది వాడకుండా పోతుంది అది ఇక్కడ కీప్ ఛార్జింగ్ ఇట్ ఎవ్రీ जय राधा गोपी वल्लभ राधा गोपी वल्लभ राधा जय राधा मनमोहन अभिषेकम की Please help me. You can take it. Oh no, that's okay. Can you increase the size? Yeah. That's okay. Yeah, yeah. Keep that mic also along with it. In front of it. Yeah, you decide. You decide. I don't know. Yeah.
So you look at for the last.
And since you've done Gaurnita Abhishekam, we'll sing Navagauravaram by Sarva Bhattacharya. The qualities of Shri Gaurnita. Am I audible? Yeah. Gauravaram Nava Pushpasaram Navalasya Param Navagauravaram गौरावरं प्रणमामि सचीसुतं गौरावरम् नवप्रेमयुक्तं नवनीतसुतं नववेशकृतं नवप्रेमरसम् नवधाविलसत् शुभप्रेममय प्रणमामि सचीसुतं गौरावरम् हरिभक्तिपरं हरिनामधरं करजपकरं हरिनामपरम् नयने सततं प्रणयाश्रुधरं प्रणमामि सचीसुतं गौरावरम् सततं जनता भवतापहरं परमार्थप्रदायन लोकगतिम् नवलेहकरं जगतापहरं प्रणमामि सचीसुतं गौरावरम् निजभक्तिकरं प्रियचारुकरं नटनर्तननागरराजकुलम् कुलकामिनि मानसलास्यकरं प्रणमामि सचीसुतं गौरावरम् करतालवलं कलकण्ठरवं मधुवाद्यस्मितामाधुरम् निजभक्तिगुणामृतनाट्यकरं प्रणमामि सचीसुतं गौरावरम् धर्मयुतं पुनर्नन्दसुतं भवभावचित्तम् चित्तं नित्यवासयुतं प्रणमामि सचीसुतं गौरावरम् शरणं वसन वदने सकनामधरम् नयनं शरणं वसन वदने लकितं स्वकनामधरम् सुरसं जगता जीवन प्रणमामि सच्चिदानंद गौरवरम् सुरसं जगत जीवन प्रणमामि सच्चिदानंद गौरवरम् गौरवरं प्रणमामि गौरवरं प्रणमामि गौरवरं प्रणमामि गौरवरं गौरवरं नवपुष्पकरं नवभावधरं नवनाट्यपरम् नवहास्यकरं नवहेमवरं प्रणमामि गौरवरम् प्रणमामि सच्चिदानंद गौरवरं प्रणमामि सच्चिदानंद गौरवरम् Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल कंठोर हरि बोल श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुब्रमण्य की श्री साई गौरंग भगवान की श्री श्री राधा मदन मोहन की श्री राधा गोपी वल्लभ की श्रील प्रभुपाद की श्रील गुरुदेव की साई गौर हरि प्रेमानंद ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरोन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः श्री चैतन्याधीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं विश्वपदं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरु वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं द्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पदान् सहगना ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय louder please everybody ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायण नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। नमः पंकजनाभाय नमः पंकजमालिने नमः पंकजनेत्राय नमस्ते पंकजांग्रये नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरत्विषे नमः। नमः ब्राह्मण्याय देवाय गौब्राह्मणाहिताय च जगद्दिताय कृष्णाय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। नमः ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण प्रश्नाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशधारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे हे राम 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 हरे हरे। कुं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्री गुरुदिनतारिणं श्री परमानन्दमीश्वरम्। ओम पवित्रो अपवित्रो वा सर्वावस्थं गतोऽपि वा यत्स्मरेत् पुण्डरीकाक्ष सभ्याभ्यन्तरं सुचे। श्री विष्णु श्री विष्णु श्री विष्णु। So, good evening everyone. Happy Abhishekam day to Gaur Nitai. So how many have performed Abhishekam for the first time today? Yeah, first time. How did it feel? Yeah, so blessed. Yes, it's a great opportunity that the unlimited is giving to the limited. That we are able to do Abhishekam to the unlimited, right? It's astonishing. How can we do Abhishekam to the Supreme Lord? But He allows us to do it by His Ashta Vigraha, Archa Vigraha. He comes in the form of the deity and He allows us to perform Abhishekam. How many want to bathe Krishna? Yashoda Maya bathes Krishna every day, right? So how many get a chance to do that? Krishna fulfills the desire of every living entity, saying, now I am here in the form of Laddu Gopal, or now I am here in the form of Radha Krishna. Now I am here in the form of Sri Gaur Nitai. Please bathe me, right? And it's the consciousness that matters, and whatever we are giving back of what we have received, right? None of the things that we have done Abhishekam on the Lord, we have produced. No scientist can create honey. Can a scientist create honey? Give him 10,000 flowers and tell him make honey, right? He cannot do that. Even the topmost scientists, I don't know which university they are from, they can't create a one drop of honey, right? Whereas Krishna creates his own honey by sending a honeybee. It goes, takes the essence of all flowers and creates honey. What else do we do Abhishekam with? Milk. Can any scientist produce milk? Now they are producing, right? From shampoo and chemicals, they are producing milk. But that's not the milk that we have done Abhishekam here. Here we have done Abhishekam from pure Desi cow milk. And God only knows how milk becomes curd, right? No scientific process can make it happen, but Krishna makes it happen, right? We know that if you put this, it becomes curd, but how it becomes curd, nobody knows, right? In few hours, it becomes curd. So it takes curd, then it takes butter. From the butter comes ghee, right? The very ghee which is inside the milk cannot be seen at all, but it comes, right? And it floats on the water. It's all mystical. If you see Krishna's existence, it can only be seen when you have faith. If you don't have faith, you can't see Krishna anywhere. That is how Krishna safeguards himself from demoniac people. The demoniac people don't have any faith. They don't have any faith. Even if they want to see Krishna, he is not visible. Like Duryodhan never could see Krishna. Krishna was right in front of him, but he could never see Krishna. Right? But Arjuna could see Krishna all the time. Duryodhana wanted to cheat Krishna though. Right? So demonic people even want to cheat God, to try to get something from God. He tried to cheat Krishna by arranging a big Sunday feast, right? Or a 56 Chapan Bhog he kept for Krishna. Here also, Suma Mataji made big Chapan Bhog here, right? It's going to be offered to the Supreme Lord in a few minutes. Krishna is going to accept this, but Krishna did not accept that, which was made by Duryodhan. Instead, whatever that was made by Duryodhan, Krishna left and told Duryodhan that I'm not going to accept this from you. And Duryodhan was very angry. Why are you not accepting this from me? Krishna, I am also similarly related to you, like Pandavas. And I'm inviting you to Dushasana's Mahal. Dushasana's Mahal is the most beautiful Mahal in entire Hastinapur. And we have made a whole feast. We have personally made it for you. But Krishna said, if you are enemy of my devotees, you're not my friend anymore. Right? So you prove in the Rajya Sabha if you really want me and my devotees. Till then, I'm not going to accept anything. He did not accept. Outrightly told, I'm not going to take. And what did he do? Did he call for some other person who can create a nice feast? No. He just went to his devotee's house. Who is another great devotee in Hastinapur? Vidura, right? Yes, Arjuna is a devotee, but in Hastinapur that time, there were two great devotees of Krishna, Bhishma and Vidura. Bhishma is a brahmachari. You don't know what you'll get if you go to his house. But he went to Vidura's house. Vidura is a grahastha. And he went uninvited. Right? Just imagine, Krishna knocks your door and says, I'm hungry. Right? That's exactly what he did. He went to Vidura's house and he told, I'm hungry. And Vidura was a very simple person. Actually, he never considered himself a minister also. Because he was born to a dasi. Right? We can say like a not very high birth. But due to his knowledge, he was given the role of a, like a minister, like advisor to the prime minister, advisor to the king, right? So, but he was leading a very simple life, small house, humble way of living. So his wife said, no, what should I serve you, Krishna? I said, Krishna is like, I'm hungry. You give me something. My mother, Yashoda, always kept something for me in the house. Don't you have? And Vidura's wife is like, yeah, of course, Krishna, we have, you sit down. And she went and searched, he could find bananas, right? And she brought those bananas. And she told Krishna, Krishna, please, this is the best we have right now. And Vidura also came. They both, husband and wife, they're sitting in front of Krishna. They were looking into his eyes, completely intoxicated with the beauty of Krishna. Namah Pankaja Nabhaya, Namah Pankaja Maline, Namah Pankaja Netraya, Namaste Pankajandre. Everything is lotus, lotus, lotus. So they were giving bananas and Krishna was eating bananas. They were giving bananas, Krishna was eating bananas. They were giving bananas and Krishna was eating bananas. After some time they saw that they were giving the peel to Krishna and throwing the banana. Right? And Krishna was taking the peel and eating the peel. Right? That's the love of Krishna. He never told, what are you doing? Where are the bananas? No. Everything is coming from Krishna, right? Everything is coming from Krishna. Banana is also coming from Krishna. Peel is also coming from Krishna only. Doesn't mean that we will give peel. We should not give peel. But if you give it love, Krishna will accept anything. For Krishna, there is no difference between paneer butter masala and peel of banana. For us, there is a big difference. Isn't it? Or whatever other famous dish you can think of. What Gujarati dish we have that's very famous? Huh? Dokla. No, not dokla. Gatte ki sabzi. Right? Huh? Or Rajasthani sabzi. Yeah. So there is no difference in gatte ki sabzi and banana peel for Krishna. All Krishna looks for is love. How much my devotee is in love with me. Right? Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhakta pranashyati. Just see the bhakta's feeling when he accepts it. Now, this is the chapter 13. Briefly, we'll discuss, because we want to do Pushpa Abhishekam also, Arti also. Some verses we'll discuss. But coincidentally, this is not my favorite chapter also. I don't know why. Because too much philosophy. This is like Jnana Yoga to the core. Philosophy which is so difficult to assimilate and comprehend also. 13th chapter is heavy philosophy. Acharya has actually explained that Bhagavad Gita got over in verse 10.11 itself. Actually, Bhagavad Gita got over because whatever Krishna wanted to tell, whatever Arjuna wanted to ask, he already finished. And Krishna finished with the Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita. That I am that Supreme Lord. You can come back to me. I am the source of everything. Done deal. Now you're going to do the war. Do it for me. It's all done. Actually, Bhagavad Gita is finished in 10th chapter itself. But it so happens that even after the message that is passed on to do the war, there is a conversation between Krishna and Arjuna, which continues. Just like, the discourse will get over, we'll have Abhishekam, and then while eating Prashadam also, we'll continue speaking. Something we'll discuss, something we'll ask, something will be told, something will be discussed. In the same way, Arjuna and Krishna are discussing, continuing to discuss. These verses from chapter number 12 onwards, they have got nothing to do with whether or not to do the war. If you observe, until Krishna goes all the way to 18th chapter, last 10 verses where he says, Sarva Dharman Parityaja, Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. Till then, whatever Krishna discusses from chapter number 13 to chapter number 18, nowhere he speaks about war. Nowhere he tells, do the war now. It is now, do the war now. There is no discussion. Because this is extra conversation that is going on. It is part of Bhagavad Gita only. It is part of Bhagavad Gita, but it is not part of the purpose of Bhagavad Gita. The purpose of Bhagavad Gita was to remind Arjuna that he has to do the war. That reminding message is already given. It's already over. So Acharya explained this conversation is also special because specifically it is done for us. Whatever Arjuna needs to know is already finished. Now whatever extra we need to know is coming from these chapters. Are you all following? Yeah? Yeah. So this is called Jnana Yoga. Or to a certain extent you can also say Sankhya Yoga. Madhuri, can you remove this cover? It's obstructing the screen for them. Yeah. Right. So Prabhupada names this chapter the nature, the enjoyer, and consciousness. Right? So Arjuna asks for 6 questions in this chapter, chapter 13. Arjuna 6 questions and Krishna explains the field of activities and the knower of the field. Yeah. Please repeat after me. Arjuna Uvacha. Arjuna Uvacha. Prakritim Purusham Chaiva. Kshetram Kshetrajñam Evacha. Etad Vidit Veditum ichchami jnanam jneyam cha Keshava. Shri Bhagavan vacha idam shariram kaunteya kshetram iti avidiyate etadyo veti tam pratva etadyo veti tam praha kshetrajna iti tadvida. Prahu, sorry, Prahu. Now here there is a question, there is an answer. Both of them are there combined, right? Please repeat after me, translation. Arjuna said, "Oh my dear Krishna, I wish to know about Prakriti, nature, Purusha, the enjoyer, and the field, and the knower of the field, and of knowledge, and the object of knowledge." The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "This body, O son of Kunti, is called the field. And one who knows this body is called the knower of the field." Right? Now here Krishna is speaking about what is this body, what is Kshetra, Kshetrajna, Jnanam and Neyam. Jnanam is knowledge, Neyam is that which needs to be known, that which needs to be understood. Right? Now, actually, if you see, I mean, Bhagavad Gita is one of the most stable scriptures, which lot of great acharyas have commented. Like Sridhar Swami commented on Bhagavad Gita 1000 years ago. Shankaracharya commented on Bhagavad Gita, Sri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Mai ki jai. So Shankaracharya commented on Bhagavad Gita roughly 1500 years ago, right? Then of course Srila Prabhupada commented on Bhagavad Gita like 50 years ago, you can say roughly, right? And Ramanujacharya commented on Bhagavad Gita. So there are many great acharyas who commented on Bhagavad Gita. There are many commentaries like Baldev Vidyabhushan in our Sampradaya. He also commented on Bhagavad Gita. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati has a commentary himself, right? So there are great acharyas. Not anybody and everybody can comment on Bhagavad Gita. Though unfortunately today there are so many people commenting on Bhagavad Gita, rather writing their own Gita. But the true commentaries, our true commentaries are very sacred. They are revelations by Krishna to the acharyas of how to understand. And because there are so many commentaries, Bhagavad Gita could never be manipulated. The verses of Bhagavad Gita remained the same. The same commentary, if you read of Shankaracharya, and the same commentary that you read today of Srila Prabhupada, the verses remain the same. Nobody fits into the verses. Whereas many other scriptures, the verses have been manipulated, unfortunately. But to the large extent, to find the right verses, you have to go to the Sampradaya. You cannot go anywhere here and there. Go to Sampradaya, you'll find it. You'll find the authenticated. But even then, in this chapter, the uniqueness of the first verse is, there are some versions of Bhagavad Gita in Sampradaya where the first verse doesn't exist. 13.1 doesn't exist. But there are also some versions of Bhagavad Gita where 13.1 exists. But actually it doesn't make a big difference because Arjuna is just asking a question. In some versions like Gita Press, which is also an authentic version, which is widely distributed, it starts from 13.2 as 13.1, right? Whereas Prabhupada, the one he chose to give his commentaries on, has 13.1. And 13.1 is also important because it is setting the context. Because till now, Krishna was explaining who is a devotee. In 12th chapter, we have gone on length. Who is a devotee? How to be the best devotee? What are all the levels of surrender? Right? Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Mai ki jai, Shri Nitai Gauranga Bhagavan ki jai. The dressing is over, Matni. Okay. So, you'll do the offering here only, like this.
That's where.
Yeah. Very nice. Okay. Yeah. So, So what was he saying? Yeah. So Krishna, sorry, I'm sorry. So Krishna went so much in detail about explaining who is a devotee, what are the qualities of devotee, what are the levels of surrender, how we can become a best devotee of Krishna. And suddenly he talks about Kshetra, Kshetrajna, Jnana, Jnaya, and all this, right? So what is the context? So there is a context being said by Arjuna asking that question. Maybe in reality he asked that question. Maybe someone forgot to document that question. And someone documented that question, right? But irrelevant of that, we have to understand that when acharyas have given this to us, the question is there. We should not, like, I'm telling you this because there are some people who will bring another version of Bhagavad Gita and say this doesn't exist. Your Bhagavad Gita is not authentic. No, we don't need to worry about that. Prabhupada has already decided what is authentic. And Prabhupada has taken the commentaries from all the four acharyas. There used to be a great devotee within ISKCON. His name is Atma Tattva Prabhu. He's still there. On this planet he's still there. He's a disciple of Prabhupada. And he lives in Chennai mostly. And he and Lokanath Maharaj, you're doing the offering now? Yeah. So Lokanath Swami Maharaj and Atmadatta Prabhu were doing parikrama on bullock cart. They were doing parikrama on bullock cart. Like on bullock cart, they were taking the scriptures and books and doing book distribution and doing that, Rath Yatra kind of a thing. So they went to a part of India in places, where there are a lot of yogis and rishis sitting. It's a real incident that happened. And Atmadatta Prabhu happened to go to this very, enlivening looking grave yogi sitting on a hill. And he had some special knowledge. It's called Samudra Gyan or something like that. I forgot the exact word. It's one of the greatest, highest knowledge in astrology and greatest, highest knowledge in some Vedic science, which very rare people have. So he had that kind of siddhi. So that time, basically, a person with that siddhi, he looks at you, will tell everything about you. He will not only tell what you are in this life, he'll also tell what you are in previous life. Just by looking at you, they have that siddhi. There are some people like that. So more than, like maybe 50 years ago when Prabhupada was there on the planet, Atmadatta Prabhu and Lokanath Maharaj, they were going around distributing books and doing this Rath Yatra on the bullock cart, and they went to this mountain where this siddhi was sitting. And as soon as they saw him, Atmadatta Prabhu, he took Prabhupada's book to the siddhi and showed the picture of Prabhupada. So can you tell anything about him? Right? That yogi is sitting in the mountains, away from everything, right? He just looked at Prabhupada and he said, this personality is very extraordinary, he told. Just by looking at Prabhupada's picture. He said, all the four Sampradaya Gurus, all their energy is invested in this one person who has appeared right now. And he is going to establish Dharma on the whole planet. You are very fortunate that he is your Guru, like that he told. Jai Prabhupada. Yes, he told that. That all the four Sampradaya Gurus, Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, Nimbarkacharya, right? Nimbarkacharya and Vishnu Swami. All these great acharyas, everything that they wanted to tell, everything they have revealed on the planet, they have incarnated through their Shakti in this one person, and he has appeared now. And is Swayam Shakti Avesh avatar of the Supreme Lord. Meaning he is specially empowered to do something unbelievable. And that is his Acharya. Don't treat him ordinarily. Immediately Atmadatta Prabhu was like, my God, we never knew that Prabhupada was such a great person. Because they're all disciples of Prabhupada. They used to go around, they used to meet Prabhupada so often. So Atmadatta Prabhu reveals that, we are so fortunate that even though we could not have darshan of Ramanujacharya, even though we could not have darshan of Madhvacharya, of Nimbarkacharya or Vishnu Swami, we had darshan of Srila Prabhupada, and that's enough. That's enough to get the darshan of all these great acharyas. And when that great acharya, who is like the acharya of all the four sampradayas, representing all the four sampradayas, when he is saying that 13.1 verse exists, I don't think we should discuss more about it. Right? 13.1 verse exists. So Arjuna is asking the question. What is he asking? I wish to know what is Prakriti, Purusha, and I wish to know what is Kshetra, Kshetrajna. Let's read the purport of Prabhupada. This is a little technical as I told today. So just hold on. Please focus as I read the purport. It's a long purport, but if you focus, you can understand, and we'll also discuss a bit of this. Arjuna was inquisitive about Prakriti, nature, Purusha, the enjoyer, Kshetra, the field, Kshetrajna, its knower, and knowledge, and the object of the knowledge. When he inquired about all these, Krishna said that this body is called the field, and that one who knows this body is called the knower of the field. Kshetra, Kshetrajna, right? Kshetra means this body. Krishna is telling this body is the field. Actually, if you go by Sanskrit word, Kshetra also means that which on which you have control on. Right? When you say this is my Kshetra, what does it mean? I have control over this. Something like that. Right? But this body, do we have control over it? In a way, no. In a way, yes. We have some control over it. Right? To a large extent, we don't have control over it. What is going on in the body, we don't know. What all diseases are in 20% form, 30% form, we don't know. Right? When it becomes 100%, we get to know. Isn't it? Until it becomes 100%, we don't know what diseases are already there. So, we don't have control over this body. So, to a certain extent, what is being told as Kshetrajna is not really us, it's the Supreme Lord. We are a small Kshetrajna. He is the Supreme Kshetrajna. We know some part of our body. Krishna knows everything else of our body and also all the other bodies. Also all other living entities bodies. Unlimited living entity body Krishna knows. He is the Kshetrajna. But Mayavadi philosophers, when they discuss about Kshetrajna, they say that it is only Krishna and that is we. There is no difference between us and Krishna. That's what Mayavadi philosophers say. They say that we are the Kshetrajna. When they interpret this part of Bhagavad Gita, they said actually there is no two Kshetrajnas, it is us only who is the Kshetrajna. And we are the Kshetrajna which knows everything. But little they don't have the logic that, do you know about what's happening in others' bodies? You don't know. Right? You don't know anything, but you don't even know what's happening in your own body, what to speak of other bodies. Right? But still, just to prove that they are God, or they like to be called that they are God, they try to say that Kshetrajna actually means me, only. There is no other Kshetrajna. Let's read the purport. This body is a field of activity for the conditioned soul. The conditioned soul is entrapped in material existence and he attempts to lord it over material nature. And so, according to his capacity to dominate material nature, he gets a field of activity. Right? Now he has to, see, the soul wants to be like Krishna. Somewhere the desire came into the soul that I want to be like Krishna. No, you cannot be like Krishna. Krishna is Krishna, you are you. You cannot be like Krishna. So what did Krishna do? He created a new world called material world. And he said, okay, now you can go there and I'll give you a body in which you can enjoy like me. You can try to enjoy like me. Go. And we all have got these bodies. White body, black body, brown body. I don't know what all colors are there. Right? Ultimately, what does this body turn into? Three things. What does it turn into? Ashes, stool, and earth. Right? These are the three things. Somebody might feel, I'm so beautiful. Right? But ultimately, we will also become that three. There is no big difference. No big difference. You can be a hero, you can be a heroine, you can be a villain, you can be a side actor. You can be whatever you are, you think you are. But ultimately, you will turn into ash. Ash, like this. Or mud, like this. Or stool, like this. That's all. Right? Whatever we think we are. And we're not going to take anything from here. We will actually give back some stool and go. Our contribution is that. Right? Little ash and little stool, mud. That's all. So Krishna knows this. But he has given this body to us to enjoy. to try to enjoy like him. And Krishna knows that we will fail also. Because Krishna knows that he also enjoys when he is with his devotees, and devotees will also enjoy when they are with him. That is the only real enjoyment that exists. Every other enjoyment is an illusion. We are thinking that we'll enjoy, but we can't enjoy. How much can you enjoy? Right? We can't. Let's read further. That field of activity is the body. And what is the body? The body is made of senses. The conditioned soul wants to enjoy sense gratification. And according to his capacity, oh, you can't see this, right? Sorry. No, I'll just read it. No, that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. If you have your mobiles, you can go to vedabase.com and then go to Bhagavad Gita. Yeah, you can do that. You can browse and see. It's good to see when I'm reading. Yeah. So the body is made of senses. The conditioned soul wants to enjoy sense gratification, and according to his capacity to enjoy sense gratification, he is offered a body or field of activity. Therefore, the body is called kshetra, or the field of activity for the conditioned soul. Now, the person who should not identify himself with the body is called kshetrajna, the knower of the field. It is not very difficult to understand the difference between the field and its knower, the body and the knower of the body. Any person can consider that from childhood to old age, he undergoes so many changes of body and yet is still one person remaining. Thus, there is a difference between the knower of the field of activities and the actual field of activities. A living conditioned soul can thus understand that he is different from the body. It is described in the beginning, Dehinosmin, and that the living entity is within the body, and that the body is changing from childhood to boyhood, and from boyhood to youth, and from youth to old age. And the person who owns the body knows that the body is changing. The owner is distinctly kshetrajna. Sometimes we think, I'm happy, I'm man, I'm woman, I'm dog, I'm cat. There are many bodily designations of the knower. But the knower is different from the body. Although we may use many articles, our clothes, etc., we know that we are different from the things used. Similarly, we also understand by a little contemplation that we are different from the body. I or you or anyone else who owns the body is called kshetrajna, the knower of the field of activities, and the body is called kshetra, the field of activity itself. Very clearly, Prabhupada is saying that we are not this body. We are definitely not this body. Whatever body that we have, we think that we are that body. That's called false ego. Right? We are in a cat body, we think that we are cat, and we are attracted to female cats or male cats. Right? When you are in a cockroach body, you are attracted to female cockroach, male cockroach. Right? That is the consciousness that we are tuned with that body. Right? I don't know who is the latest famous hero or heroine. Right? So let us go back to Sushmita Sen. I'm really going back really back. Right? So, if there is Sushmita Sen in this room, everybody might look at the Sushmita Sen. Oh, she also came today. But a cockroach will not look at Sushmita Sen. Cockroach will look at Lady Sushmita Cockroach. She'll search for another cockroach. So that is the consciousness, right? The body in which you are, you think you are that body, and your consciousness is all trained like that body. See, the beauty of this material world is everybody is trying to enjoy this body. Everybody is trying to enjoy this material world, including a pig, mouse, a bird, a human. When you go outside, near your car where you park, there is a gutter there, right? You'll see some pigs going around, and you are thinking at that pig, right? What kind of pig is this? What is pig thinking? Nicely they can eat here. What are they doing in that building? See? Pig is not upset that it is a pig. Pig is proud that it is a pig. That is the magic of this material world. Everybody is proud for what he is. Even a mosquito is proud for what it is. Right? Because mosquito is thinking, I am that mosquito. Kshetra, kshetrajna. I am the knower of the field. You understand? We are so much related to the body that we are given. We go through a training institute. When we switch body to body, we are sent to a training institute somewhere like Amirpet. There is one training institute in some planet, Amirpet planet. We go there, and before we get a body, we go into the building called pig building, dog building. We go inside and we get trained that you are dog. And when you come outside, we are very proud to be a dog. Right? Then you take birth here and you're very happy being a dog. You're not upset. You're not upset that, mere ko dog body kyun diya? No, you're very proud that you're a dog. That is called knower of the field. Kshetrajna. Right? Actually, if you see, even the field of activity, it has got nothing to do with you. Nothing to do with the knower. You see, when we go to a movie, when we go to a theater movie, right? There are so many things which are there in the theater for the movie to come, for the movie to appear on the screen. There are so many things needed. What is needed? You need a theater, you need a big screen, you need a projector, you need a movie, the reel or whatever memory drive that we keep it there. You need a bulb that is projected, right? You need all the other bulbs that got switched off. It becomes dark, and then the movie comes, right? So all this is like a field of activity. Whatever that you are saying is like field of activity, kshetra, right? All that field of activity. And you are the knower of the field, kshetrajna. You are sitting there. But all that is meaningless, it doesn't have anything in it. Then Krishna produces a picture and it comes on that screen and your senses connect to that picture and you start, feeling and thinking and, actually emotionally connecting with what's happening on the screen. But what is happening in the screen has got nothing to do with you. Kshetra is being used. This body is being used for us to experience emotions. Right? All the emotions that we undergo, the sense changes that we undergo, the sense experience that we undergo, nothing but that movie. They're just that movie. But we are thinking that is me. You're in love with somebody. That fellow says, I don't love you. Khatam, you start crying. That's the movie only. That fellow's got nothing to do with you. This body has got nothing to do with you. But you get connected into that. You start feeling. Right? So this is called Maya. Kshetra, Kshetrajna. The knower of the body actually knows that the body also is not his. But unfortunately, the conditioned soul thinks that the Kshetra belongs to the Kshetrajna. But a liberated soul doesn't think that the Kshetra belongs to the Kshetrajna. He knows that the Kshetra has got nothing to do with Kshetrajna. It is too much philosophical. I'll finish it soon. That's why I told I personally don't like this chapter. I should not say that, but 13th chapter is not my favorite chapter. If I have to recite this chapter, I just go very fast. Okay. In the first 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, the knower of the body, the living entity, and the position by which he can understand the Supreme Lord are described. In the middle 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the relationship between the individual soul and the super soul in regard to devotional service are described. The superior position of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the subordinate position of the individual soul are definitely defined in these chapters. The living entities are subordinate under all circumstances, but in their forgetfulness, they are suffering. When enlightened by pious activities, they approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead in different capacities. As the distressed, those who want money, the inquisitive, and those who are in search of knowledge. That is also described. Now, starting with the 13th chapter, how the living entity comes into contact with material nature and how he is delivered by the Supreme Lord through different methods of fruitive activities, cultivation of knowledge, and the discharge of devotional service are explained. Although the living entity is completely different from the material body, he somehow becomes related. That is also explained. Right? So 13th chapter is basically explaining the greatness of the Lord, how we are subordinate to him. He Kshetrajna, we are small Kshetrajna, little Kshetrajna. And the field of activity, which is all the bodies of everybody. How are we all connected? Is being explained. Now, why is Krishna speaking about Kshetrajna, Kshetra at 13th chapter on a war field? When the war is going to happen, just imagine everybody is in tension. He already finished speaking Bhagavad Gita in 10th chapter. Why is he getting into this philosophical knowledge? Because Krishna is telling Arjuna that even though you want to analyze me through Sankhya, even though you want to analyze me through philosophical knowledge, still I am superior. He wants to convince Arjuna that through bhakti he is superior, through karma yoga, dhyana yoga is superior, and even through Sankhya philosophy, when you try to analyze God, by measuring with a measuring tape or measuring with your own intellect, still he is superior. To prove that, 13th chapter is mainly focused. That philosophically also, no matter which kind of philosophy you come from, still God is superior, right? We'll do one more verse. Is that okay? 13.3. Kshetragyam chapi mam vidhi. Kshetragyam chapi mam vidhi. Sarvakshetreshu Bharata. Sarvakshetreshu Bharata. Kshetragnyor jnanam. Kshetragnyor jnanam. Yatta jnanam matam mama. Yatta jnanam matam mama. Translation purport by Joanne Desi Bhaktivan Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Please repeat after me. O Skiyano Bharata, you should understand that I am also the knower in all bodies, and to understand this body and its knower is called knowledge. That is my opinion. Right? Now, some foolish fellows who are writing commentaries on Bhagavad Gita, they say that if that's Krishna's opinion, it's not important. How can you explain that the whole Bhagavad Gita is Krishna's opinion only? Just because he's saying that it is my opinion in this verse doesn't mean that this verse doesn't have to be considered as important. What is the entire Bhagavad Gita? Chapter by chapter, answer by answer. It's Krishna's opinion only. Here explicitly is saying that is my opinion. Why is he saying it is his opinion? Because Krishna wants to eliminate any more atheists at this stage of 13th chapter. If there is no faith, person with no faith is reading Bhagavad Gita, at this point he'll stop. This whole book is opinion, he will go. But devotees will continue because devotees know that everything that Krishna speaks is his opinion only. And who is giving the opinion is very, very important. When opinion is being given by Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that opinion is this absolute truth. Right? If you and me are giving opinion, that opinion doesn't have any meaning in it. According to my opinion, what is your opinion? Half the people can't tell their opinion in front of their wives. What to speak of telling, opinion in front of the whole world, saying that according to my opinion. Our opinion doesn't count anywhere. So, but Krishna's opinion counts everywhere. Right? It says, this is my opinion. And one more important thing in this verse we see, it says, Kshetragyam chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. Sarva kshetreshu. He's saying, all bodies, I am the knower. So if somebody is saying, you are in this room and also me, what does it mean? We both are one? No. They say, you are in this room and also me. Krishna is saying, you are kshetra and sarva kshetra is me. Very clearly saying that he is sarva kshetra also. You are not sarva kshetra. So you are not that God. You cannot be that God. But still some commentators have commented that that kshetra is me only. And that kshetra and sarva kshetra is me only. Right? So this is Mayavadi commentary. When you read Mayavadi commentary, you will clearly see, oh my God, how are they writing such illogical things? Because that's also an illusion that, one wants to be God, one wants to prove that he is God. There is one Abhinay Gupta, I think his name. I might be wrong on the name, but he's a great commentator of Bhagavad Gita also. And I say great as in great, but he commented from North India. And he commented the entire Bhagavad Gita and proved that Lord Shiva is the Supreme Lord, source of everything. Right? Now, if you really go by it, he may have interpreted that Lord Shiva is the Supreme, but he could not change the verses of Bhagavad Gita. He still had to tell the same thing that Krishna is telling, that I am Kshetrajna, Kshetra, I am Sarva Kshetra. He had to say ultimately, but somehow he told that Lord Shiva, but Lord Shiva's name also is not mentioned except in one verse of Bhagavad Gita, where he says, among the Rudras I am Shiva. Right? So people can interpret Bhagavad Gita in different ways according to their whims, according to what they want to prove. But one thing is for clear, that Krishna is that Sarva Kshetra. Let's read the purport. While discussing the subject of the body and the knower of the body, the soul and the super soul, we shall find three different topics in the study: the Lord, the living entity, and matter. In every field of activities, in everybody, there are two souls: the individual soul and the super soul. Because the super soul is a plenary expansion of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Krishna says, I am also the knower, but I am not the individual knower of the body. I am the super knower. I am present in everybody as Paramatma or super soul. Right? When Krishna says I am present in everybody, every body, he is actually in everybody. But doesn't mean that we are that same. We are not that same. Just simple logic if you apply, when you do something bad, something that you don't want to do, you're doing it, there is somebody talking to you saying don't do it. Now are you saying that my soul is speaking to my body? No. It is the super soul speaking to the soul. You are that soul and God is speaking to you saying don't do it. It's not right. Or when you've done something really good, the same God speaks to you. Very good. Today you did a very good job. I'm very happy. And you also feel happiness. Right? Sri Jagannath Baldev Subhadramaya Nitai Gauranga ki Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Yeah. So how many bhogas are there? Anybody counted? 147. Hari Bol. All the Matajis who prepared bhoga ki. Hari Hari. So can anybody eat all this? If you are Kshetrajna. Right? Can, No, just imagine. What you know, what you prepared. But do you know how everything else is prepared? Don't know. But Krishna knows how everything was prepared. Right? Jai, Hariva. One who studies the subject matter of the field of activity and the knower of the field very minutely in terms of Bhagavad Gita can attain to knowledge. We'll finish this verse and we'll wrap it up. We'll have Kirtan after. The Lord says, please focus. The Lord says, I am the knower of the field of activities in every individual body. The individual may be the knower of his own body, but he is not knowledge. He is not in knowledge of other bodies. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is present as the super soul in all bodies, knows everything about all bodies. He knows all the different bodies of all the different various lives of species of life. A citizen may know everything about his patch of land, but the king knows not only his place, but all the properties possessed by the individual citizens. Similarly, one may be the proprietor of the body individually, but the Supreme Lord is the proprietor of all bodies. The king is the original proprietor of the kingdom, and the citizen is the secondary proprietor. Similarly, the Supreme Lord is the supreme proprietor of all bodies. The body consists of senses. The Supreme Lord is called Rishikesha, which means the control of the senses. He is the original control of the senses, just as the king is the original control of all the activities of the state. The citizens are secondary controllers. The Lord says, I am also the knower. That means that he is the super knower. The individual soul knows only his particular body. Yeah. So maybe we'll continue this. As I said, this is a very philosophical chapter and it needs some thorough study. And I don't think with 140 items beside us, we can know anything more about Kshetrajna. Right? So we'll do some nice kirtan. Yeah? Hare Krishna, are we doing Aarti or what is the plan? Aarti is ready? So we'll bring the deities here or there only? Okay. So while you do that, we'll do some kirtan until you say it. Okay. We'll do kirtan only. So I want everyone to enthusiastically sing the kirtan so that for the pleasure of Sri Gaur Nitai, Jagannath Baldev Subhadramaya. Right? How many have ever done kirtan at your loudest voice? Have you tried? Huh? Really? Shouted Krishna's name. How many have shouted in your life anytime? Have you shouted? जोर से चिल्लाए किसके ऊपर? Huh? Can you all say Krishna? Krishna? At one point, you all have to do that in this kirtan. Are you ready? Huh? You're not going to say Hare Krishna. No. Right? So we are going to create some disturbance in the society. Positive spiritual disturbance. Right? So as the kirtan progresses, at one point, I expect all of you to shout also. Then why am I saying to shout? Because kirtan means to cry. When a child cries, he shouts for the mother. He shouts for the father. Right? So we should learn to cry when you're doing this kirtan. Are you ready? Let them do what they're doing. They're doing all that. You don't have to worry. You can close your eyes. Just focus on the holy names and be ready to cry Krishna's names. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Vakyapradeshakarine Gajendra was in that lake, shouted Krishna's name without any hesitation, without any apprehension. Now the Kirtan will go in a way that I want you to shout, just like Gajendra. Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा माई की जय नरेंद्र भगवान की जय गौर प्रेमानंदे. So a few 2-3 announcements and then we'll have the Aarti here. Is Aarti plate everything ready for you? Yeah, we'll do the kirtan with the Aarti. So 2-3 announcements. So Hare Krishna. So I would have seen in the BG24 group I have kept that 2 new groups we are starting. From 28th of August, we are going to start a group called Kirtaniya Sadahari, which means every single person sitting here, I humbly request, you have to learn Mridanga. Every single person. Every single person here should learn professionally how to do Mridanga and professionally how to do Kartal. Because there is a lot of competition in Goloka Vrindavan, we will not have any post there. We better learn now and be prepared, right? So there will be 2 batches every Sunday, 3 to 4 and 4 to 5. 3 to 4 will be all children and youth preachers. Who are doing youth preaching now or shadow preaching, they will be part of the 3 to 4 batch. Then 4 to 5 will be Matajis and everybody else, right? The reason is 4 to 5, once the children will finish and the youth preachers will finish their 4 to 5, 3 to 4 Mridanga and Kartal. So Mridanga will be 45 minutes, Kartal will be 15 minutes, right? So after that, they all will go into another room or a different house in the same locality and there will be a youth preaching class for all the children. Children about 10 and above will be having some presentations. We have a lot of youth preachers here already doing the presentations. We'll kind of adjust that presentations for our own children and we'll do youth preaching classes. Is that okay? Yes. And all the children in that youth preaching class will get special snacks prashadam. Right? So all the others will continue with the Harinam, learning of Harinam from 4 to 5 until 5:30. 5:30 the normal satsang starts. So practically your Sunday from 3 o'clock to evening 9 o'clock is booked. Right? So that way we don't leave any gap for Mayadevi to come. Or we don't go and shelter Mayadevi. Is that okay? Yes. Now one more announcement. Next week I'm going to announce 2-3 festivals ahead so that we all kind of mentally prepare and we start applying leaves in the office. And you know what to do if they don't give leave, right? Resign. You all know it. Yeah. So first thing first, on 23rd, that is the next Saturday. So next Sunday we will not have session. Next Sunday will be rest day because Saturday will be full busy day. So next Saturday we are going to have same satsang but Maha Satsang. We call it Festival of Inspiration in Vaishnav Seva Kunj, right? So it will start from morning 5 o'clock till evening 9 o'clock. So morning 5 o'clock will be chanting, then Mangalarti, then breakfast prashadam, and His Grace Radhesham Prabhu is coming. And he will give a class on what is inspiration, what is loving reciprocation. That is the topic he has chosen. For 2 hours he will give a class from 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock. 11 to 11:30, we are facilitating gifts for some very good speakers we are inviting from Pune. 5 brahmacharis and 1 grihastha, total 6 people are traveling from Pune to here only to spend time with all of us, right, next week. And they are going to give lectures from morning all the way through evening. So 9 to 11 o'clock Radhesham Prabhu's lecture, 11 to 11:30, token of thanks to all the speakers who have come. 11 to 11:30, Vamsi was 11 to 12 o'clock, no, 11:30 to 12:30, Vamsi Vadan Prabhu. 12:30 to 1:30, Gaurang, Atmanand Gaurang Prabhu. Then 1:30 to 2:30 is lunch prasadam for everybody. And then 2:30 to 3:30, one more speaker. 3:30 to 4:30, one more speaker. 4:30 to 5 o'clock is snacks prasadam again for everybody. Break. Then 5 to 6, 6 to 7, we'll be done with all the speakers speaking. And then we'll have evening Gaur Aarti and dinner prasadam, and we'll leave home. But most of us will be going and staying in Vaishnav Seva Kunj on Friday itself, because we don't want people coming late. So you're all invited with families. There are 11 toilets there. There is enough space to sleep. 80 people can be accommodated without any problem. So you all can come Friday evening itself. So we all go and stay there overnight, and then we get up in the morning, early morning, all of us together, and then sitting in between the cows, in between the pastures, and beautiful place between the nature. We'll do our chanting till 7 o'clock. Then 7 to 7:30 is Mangal Aarti. We'll all do Mangal Aarti together, which it's been a long time which we have done. And then from 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock is breakfast prasadam. And then 9 o'clock onwards, the Festival of Inspiration starts. So don't miss this opportunity. It's a divine opportunity. It took a lot of planning to make sure that all the speakers are coming. We have been planning for the last, 2.5 months, 3 months. Yeah. So all this is possible thanks to Sri Gopal Prabhu. I don't know if he's here today. He was planning the flight tickets, everything he planned, and made sure that all the brahmacharis are coming. So don't miss this, right? Then the 31st of July is the DT anniversary of Radha Gopi Vallabha in our house. So that Sunday we will have Maha Satsang similar like here in our house, in Radha Gopi Vallabha's house. And then the following weekend after that, Sunday, I think it is 7th of August, is Radhashtami. Right? It is being, so it's appearance day of Srimati Radharani. Again, we are going to celebrate in a big way, and it's coming on Sunday. Right? And we'll be doing in Aparna Lake Breeze in Praveen Prabhu's new house. Very well. So Prabhuji is inviting Shri Radha and Krishna, Prabhuji and Mataji, Puja Mataji. They are inviting to their home. So all of you are invited to come to Aparna Lake Breeze. So we'll have a Radhashtami there, right? And the next Sunday after that, I think is Friday or something, is Balram Jayanti. And Jhulan Yatra will also start, right? 13th August, yeah. So we'll also celebrate Jhulan Yatra. We have a Jhula, we have Radha and Krishna, we have everything. We only have to go and swing, right? So Jhulan Yatra will happen. So we'll plan and let you know where we are doing it. And then after that, the great Janmashtami weekends are going to start. So Friday is Janmashtami and Saturday is Nandotsav, which is what day? 19th. 18th is Janmashtami or 19th? 19th is Janmashtami and 20th, yeah. So 20th is Nandotsav. So on Nandotsav, we make a lot of feasts for Lord Shri Krishna that is appeared. Nanda Maharaj is giving a festival, and we are doing it also in VSK. So Nandotsav we are doing in VSK with Go Puja, and that's also the appearance day of Srila Prabhupada. Right? So we all, everybody, I request everybody to make 5 minutes plan for an offering for Srila Prabhupada. Every one of you have to come on the dais, and whatever you want to thank Srila Prabhupada for, be prepared for that. Everybody will get an opportunity. You have to come on time, right? So that day, on the day of Nandotsav, again, we will have Go Puja from 8 to 9. And then that day, people who can fast have to fast till 12 o'clock, because that's Prabhupada's appearance day. We fast till noon. And then during that time, from 9 o'clock onwards, we will have the offerings all the way to 12 o'clock, right? So even if I say 18 people are giving offering for 5 minutes, we are already, how much are we talking about? 10, 30 people. No, not 30. Yeah, maybe, yeah. 12 into 3, 36 people will be done by 1. So my humble request is, please prepare your offering for maybe a little lesser than 5 minutes, maybe 3 minutes, right? And so we can try to accommodate as many as possible by 1 o'clock. And then 1 o'clock we will have Kirtan, offering to Srila Prabhupada. Nandotsav, Krishna's Prasadam will be given to Prabhupada, and Prabhupada's Prasadam will all honor, and then we'll disperse on Nandotsav. Talking about Janmashtami, the announcement is many want to do Janmashtami in their communities. respective communities. So please plan. And whoever needs help, DCS help, devotee care servants, we will allocate. Right? So we have Avatar, we have Green Grace, we have Trendset Winds, the Spirit community, and we have what do you call it? Aparna communities. Yeah, My Home Vihanga is there, right? Krishi is there. So we will distribute ourselves and make ourselves available for all the communities. That's the whole goal. So on Sunday, our Janmashtami and Nandotsav is happening together in VSK. So we are done. So Sunday is the day to give. So we will allocate teams in such a way in all communities, separate Janmashtamis will happen. That is the whole goal. So that we can inspire many people, many unfortunate people, will make them fortunate by allowing them to worship Krishna. Right? And Julan will be there in one of the communities on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we can decide. And we already have a Jula and Radha Krishna. And if you don't have Radha Krishna, you can take Jagannath Baldev Subhadramaya and keep and do the Janmashtami. So our schedule is already booked for the entire next month. This is called spiritual life, right? Where we are completely booked and we are not available for anything, right? So please inform your bosses and your HR that you don't exist, right? And thankfully, most of the festivals we are doing on Saturday, Sunday only. So if there is a sadist boss who is asking you to come on Saturday, you know what to do. Right. Yes, in children know. Yes. And if he asks you to come on Sunday, we will ask him to resign. Now we'll do Aarti. Yes. Aarti or Pushpa Vijay? Yeah. So first we'll do Aarti. Somebody can do. One of us will sing the prayers. We'll do Yashomati Nandan. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Sure.